Tampa International Airport on our way to Miami to take a connector flight to Istanbul, then to Tel Aviv. We're pretty excited and ready to go. So now we're at the Miami airport, and here comes my luggage. It's a little layover until we get to Istanbul. Well, we made it to Istanbul, and we are in a little market in the Istanbul airport. It's pretty cool. Take a look at this. Okay, so we are leaving Istanbul, headed to Tel Aviv. We made it to the Istanbul airport. Barely. It's a huge airport. It's a beautiful though. What did you say?
Shopping trip.
I think it's pretty cool. They had some pretty cool stores in there. Fred almost bought a chess set. You almost got trapped, didn't you?
Backed away.
Yay, we finally made it to Israel. We had 29 hours of total travel time. That's from the time that we left our house to when we made it to the hotel in Tel Aviv. It was a very long trip. The Tel Aviv airport was absolutely beautiful. Bright and early the next morning, our first stop was Caesarea National Park. Caesarea is a town on Israel's Mediterranean coast. We spent a little time touring this Roman amphitheater that was built in 22 BC by King Herod and named in honor of Julius Caesar. The amphitheater was at one time used to display gladiator combats and Christian persecutions. Our guide told us that children were eaten by lions while parents watched, then the parents were attacked and eaten by the lions. King Herod killed his wife and 3 of his boys because he thought they were plotting against him. Here, the Apostle Paul was in prison for 2 years. The theater, the arena, used for chariot races, and the ruins of King Herod's palace were fascinating, and the Mediterranean views and breeze were both beautiful and refreshing. Caesarea is an important site in Christian history. It was the place where Pontius Pilate governed during the time of Jesus. This stone that you see here is the only historical reference to Pontius Pilate. Our guide said that the town of Caesarea was like Beverly Hills in the States. It's very expensive to live here. In fact, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu lives in Caesarea part of the year. Our guides are actually sitting on ancient Roman stone toilets. In the wintertime, the Romans would send their slaves to sit and warm the stones. Of course, I had to dip my feet into the Mediterranean Sea. The water was cold like the Atlantic. Our next stop was Mount Carmel. A monastery was founded at the site and dedicated to the Virgin Mary. Each country has gifted a beautiful mosaic. It was interesting to see so many different ethnic images of the Virgin Mary. Mount Carmel, which literally means God's Vineyard, is a 13-mile mountain range in western Jezreel Valley and is the most heavily forested area in the country. The summit of Mount Carmel, which rises to a height of almost 1,500 feet, gives views of several historical sites, including Nazareth and the rounded peaks of Mount Tabor. There was a family-owned restaurant nearby, and we chose from falafel or schnitzel with various fresh salads. Our next stop was Armageddon National Park. We are looking at a mound that rises 120 feet above its surroundings. This mound has revealed the remains of at least 26 different civilizations that have been built on top of each other, primarily because of its strategic location. We saw the ancient city gates, or Solomon's Gate. These next few pictures show Solomon's stables and his palace, or at least what remains of it. The book of Revelation talks about the Battle of Armageddon and where the end will occur. Well, here it is. This is where it will happen according to the Bible. Those are apricot orchards below in the valley. All of the mountains in the background are in numerous stories in the Bible. It was amazing to be at this site and to think about the biblical significance. It was also very beautiful. It was about 4:00 p.m. on our first day in Israel, and our last stop for the day is Mount Precipice. This is the site of the rejection of Jesus as described in the Bible. We are overlooking the beautiful town of Nazareth. The building with the gray dome in the background is the Church of Annunciation. This site is a week's walk from Jerusalem. Our guide told a story about when Jesus was young, he wandered away from an entire caravan that was on the walk with him. Everyone had to turn back to find Jesus, and it was about a 3-day detour for the entire group. You can see the country of Jordan and the University of Jaffa in the distance.
There's a huge few more. Come on out.
He said 12. This is 12 more.
Just got the extra strength. One at a time.
We actually went into the town of Nazareth. We toured the Church of Annunciation. I'm not sure why I didn't get any pictures. I did end my day with a lovely pomegranate and orange juice drink from this street vendor. And then we headed back to the hotel and rested. It was a long, hot day and we were all pretty tired.